where there is an moving for short distances, but when you walk, it might take more than 15 to 20 minutes. So why we chose this is because, as you all are aware, that we have also built a two-wheeler, which is an electric two-wheeler. We have built with lead acid. So our foundation started over there. That was RAV one, which used 48-volt battery and amps of about 32 ampere per hour specification. So about 80 kilometers with a speed range of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, and it takes about 45 hours to recharge once the battery is almost nil. So here the concept is very simple. It's a student innovation. What we are trying to bring to the world is firstly we are making the vehicle ready with the mechanical parts, and the electrical part will be ready within another 3 4 months, which by the gracious funding of MAN, we have received 4 lakhs for that. So our foundation starts there. We'll be building that. Right now, I think can we move to the next slide? So this is our rendered model. This is how our vehicle will look. As you can see, it is similar to the regular existing Golf cars that we get in the market. But there are few changes that if you can notice it, the seats are captain seats. These are called bucket seats. So you don't have to sit just, it's not like very uncomfortable. First focus was to make uh, the passengers be comfortable. So that was our main agenda. Second is, you can see the design is very modern. It's not regular, we don't have those halogen lights and everything. We are trying to bring in the LEDs into the market where that is not existing as of now. So we use 60 volt 90 lithium ion battery, which costs about 1 lakh, with the system of BMS, which is about another 10 to 15,000. So according to that, we have a 6 kilowatt BLDC traction motor that we'll be using, or PMSM motor as well. So 6 kilowatt we have chosen because for 60 volt we need 60 to 90 if you do it. It is 5.4 kilowatt requirement is there, but we have added a bigger motor, so we get the best outcome. Whenever the vehicle is at full capacity, like six people sitting together of about 100 kg, 600 kg, the vehicle can move easily about 15 to 20 kilometers easily. As you can see, we have mentioned AIML-based autonomous navigation. So what we trying to do with our product is, we will first test the vehicle in an area where it can be automated. So as of now, our competitor will be Mini Electric, Tri Electric. There is Roots. These are all Indian-based manufacturers which provide you the good. But what we are trying to bring in through VARA Electric is, we are going to make this vehicle driverless. So that is the aim that we have. This is the integration that we'll be doing. And for now, we are competing with the Golf cars. But as I mentioned you, the reason why we have kept VARA Electric as the daughter company of VARA Mobility is, VARA Mobility will have different kinds of sections, where in future, in about 2 or 3 years, once we start getting business for Golf car, we'll be directly competing with Tesla. So there is no one who does automation like Tesla. So you can drive it without the driver. The vehicle can run. It can self-park, which is all a premium features if you go for Mercedes or if you go to BMW. But what we are trying to bring in is, for the country like India, where middle class mostly exists in large number, rather than being under poverty or being in ultra luxurious. The class is middle class that we are focusing on, where you can get such features at an affordable price. We're not telling we are the cheapest, but what I'm trying to tell you is that we'll bring in the concept of automation at a very affordable price. So let's understand how the vehicle moves. This is our architecture. You can see we have traction power system. So that is basically how how we charge the vehicle. How there is a battery. The battery needs to be charged from an AC supply, and then it will be sent to the power conversion, that is auxiliary system, your lights, your infotainment system, in the instrument cluster as well. So the vehicle control unit is the main brain of the entire system. You can see the system, the autonomous system, which decides. That is our feature that we'll be focusing on. making the vehicle move on its own. The interesting concept that we are trying to bring in is, as you can see, the charging and docking system. So how this works is, so let's imagine if we are working, our client is some kind of resorts, right? So they need 3 or 4 buggies from us. So they have a particular space where they'll park our vehicle. So those places will be dedicated for these vehicles itself. What happens is with our automation, the vehicle moves in such a way there will be a docking system, like there will be a charger that will be put into some angle. The vehicle exactly moves to certain speed and then attached to that charger, so that you don't have to physically put it and just just leave it, just put it on park and charge. If you press that option, the vehicle can go automatically to the place. You can put itself into the docking system, and then the vehicle can be charged. We also have the system where the vehicle can stop charging it on its own. So that's electric drivetrain that happens. We have motor controller. We have how the vehicle works. There is a motor, there is a controller, there is a battery, there is system. I mean, you ask the motor to do certain things. You want it to be pressed onto reverse or into the neutral, or you want it to be drive, and that can be happened through the controller. We move to the next slide. Yeah. So technical feasibility. Currently, there are vehicles which use the same system, that is 60 volt, 60 volt specifications, even in the battery, even in the motor. So we get the components, technical components will be available for us very easily, but not in Kalburgi, but we can get it, we can source it from different places at a very affordable. And coming to the economic feasibility that I've already mentioned to you, that we are going to focus on the middle class sections, where we are not trying to be very overpriced, and we are not trying to be very at a low cost product. That is not our idea, but the idea is to bring in the concept that is not existing in India with an affordable price. So the challenges that we will face when we start working on it is, even when we built our first prototype, the battery cost is the major concern. Out of our product costs you about 3.4 lakhs, which is again, when you compare it to the market, it is about 40 to 50,000 lesser than the market price to the features that we are giving. So battery cost is the main thing, where it costs about 1 lakh for our batteries, that is lithium ion. The vehicle weight, yeah. So the structure has to be very light. So we cannot use heavy steels everywhere and heavy metals everywhere. So we are trying to incorporate the carbon fiber material into it, but which will cost us more. The vehicle will cost us more. But we'll reduce the weight of the chassis, so that the vehicle has additional weight can be added more, like let's say 600 kgs by people can be added, while the vehicle itself, the weight of the vehicle itself can be reduced. That is one of the challenges that we even faced in our vehicle. The vehicle, once we started, it wasn't moving because of the weight. When both of us were sitting on the vehicle. Uh, as of now, see, safety is again a very major concern when it comes to any electrical work. Can we move to the next slide? As I mentioned, our target users are educational institutions, hospitals, airports, industrial facilities, and gated communities. And I've also mentioned you the long-term vision of our organization. That's And there is one more feature that we are trying to incorporate, and how we differentiate ourselves in the market. Uh, we'll have the customization option. So now our basic idea is 60 volt battery. That specification will be going in. But Abhi institution में, this is just a small institution, 18 acres. Even if you get like 90H is not required here. Even 45, that can work here. That can work very well. So such cost cutting can also put us into the market in a very great position. That is also the major option that we are trying to work. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can. Even the Yes, sir.
What do you mean by PMSL?
It's a permanent. you, he's our tech. Permanent magnet synchronous motors. And BLDC is brushless direction. Yeah. You guys have any questions?
First of all, congratulations team VARA because at this stage of your career, I would not say career still, engineering, where you have built a two-wheeler and now planning to build something which can carry multiple people, more than two. So that's great achievement actually. So my point is, who is your stakeholder? Who is your stakeholder?
Stakeholder, I think.
Like who did you connect to identify this issue?
Yeah. I'll just tell you. So, I went into the business of lighting business. So we have contacts with bigger contractors. You know, there's a real estate player called Brigade in Bangalore. So we are the main vendors there. So how their idea works is they'll have 300 acres of land and they'll be constructing it. You know, the handover will be in 2030 or 2032, but the land will be there. So what they'll do is they need someone to take you until then. So that is kind of a feature that they are missing. They have buggies, but they cannot go about 40, 50 kilometers. So that feature we have added. And I've also contacted with many people in Bangalore, where you know when I used to go to. So we are also into resorts and hotels. So when we provide them, I ask them this question: did you ever think of mobility here? And they were like, yeah, we are thinking of bringing in some cars. So this segment, sir, the segment I told you, middle class segment, where you know if you are moving for if you are trying to build something new. So even our family, we have two centers, sports centers in Bangalore. One is 3 acres, and the another one is just trial and error for us. In that 3 acre, you know, from parking, if you have to go to the other part of the center, it will take you time, and you'll have to spend energy on that. So instead of that, we can have one or two vehicles into the system. I have faced this issue when I was in Bangalore, when I was going to the center, you know, going to our badminton court, then coming to the swimming pool would be very difficult for us to happen. So I have asked the customers as well. You know, there is a resort in that is upcoming in Kavini. So we are providing light to them. So I asked them, so how are you trying to move people? You know, that is like a very small village, a very small road. How are you trying to bring them? Like, see, they'll have to come by their own. Few people like us, you know, I'm still young. If I take car, then I can go direct. Or if I'm not taking car, how will I even move there? So that can cover that 50 kilometers or 40, 45 to 50 kilometers of range from this main road to their center. That we can cover through our those are our main stakeholders.
So basically, you are working on range, battery range,
Battery range.
and then you are also working on the like might be a bit of speed also.
Yes, yes.
Fine. So, is there any way where you try to understand the business cap of this? What is the existing buggy car pricing in the market right now? If I want to buy a buggy at Shetty Group of Technology,
Yeah.
How much do they need to pay?
Right now, you know, you get 2-seater and 4-seater buggies. Those
Let's
cost
say 4-seater.
Yeah. Let's say 4-seater, that will cost you 4.25 to 5 lakhs.
How much you people are like? What would be your range when you launch?
When we launch this, we'll provide it between 3 lakh 30 to 3 lakh 50, and with a very good margin.
Of course. So, right. So I have few of suggestions now. Where, as you mentioned about like BMW and Benz and Tesla also. So where they have been trying to take one issue and solve that. So let us say that if I go to Benz, so they have been very much into the headlights itself. Like if you can see for 3 to 4 years of the previous running years, they have achieved comfort, they have achieved luxury, they have achieved safety.
Yes.
So now there is nothing to do there. Actually. So now they are into like the lightings. So you can see that if you open the door, there is a Benz
illumination. Yes,
yes. So we don't need that, but that's luxury.
Yeah.
Right, that's luxury. But still I'm okay. If I have money, I'm good with luxury. Fine. And and when I go like driving on the road, of course we are hit with that high beam light. So then solve that.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever is my requirement of light, that
will stay
light
there,
actually,
and it doesn't
yes,
affect the other one. Yes.
only that much. Like it will not trouble the person opposite. So then it's not only thinking about their customers, whoever is on the road driving. So why don't we, when I say we, you know, the researchers try to work with that. So I appreciate that like a luxury product can be sorted out and it can be bought home with such things. That's very great. And why can't we take that one particular angle or the one particular point where there is really a research? So of course range is 100% required because I don't need to like every 15 kilometers I need to charge.
Yeah,
So what is the fun in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So of course it should be at least having 100 kilometers range. So as I mentioned, 90 kilowatt might be.
Yeah.
Of course, so I think I want people to still try to connect with people. Of course, have
There is,
as you have experienced
yes.
yourself and trying to get yourself into that. So can the team connect with other people still and try to understand who are having a budget
Yeah, yeah.
and then ask them like, what is the additional improvement you require. So then you will have a very great opportunity than this.
Right.
You already have a good point.
Yeah, yeah.
But just having the range. So let us say that by tomorrow, if anybody knows that one team in Kraguj is doing this, so they already have a vehicle.
Yeah, while
Increasing the range is not a big deal for them.
Yeah.
By tomorrow evening they launch it. Tomorrow evening, you said 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Tomorrow evening they launch it. The point is that.
So not only that, we would give the range. There is also one more aspect to that.
Yes.
You know, we have also mentioned about the comfort.
Mhm.
See what happens if you sit in a, let's say if you sit in a Vitara Brezza, then go and sit in the S class. There is a huge difference. But what we are trying to bring in here is we are trying to bring in the MG concept. It's not the fastest. It's not the it is not powerfully packed like Porsche. But what MG does is it gives you the minimal comfort that is there in Mercedes, and gives you the tech that is there in Mercedes. So altogether, MG will feel like a very premium product when you compare it to Brezza. But it also, somewhere in the bottom 10% of Mercedes it compares with that. So that concept we are trying to bring in here. And as I've mentioned, sir, we are giving the customizable option as well. So that's what happens there is. So if the vehicle that I'm telling about 60 volt 98, that would cost you around 3.3 to 3.5. So let's say if you if you have a lesser requirement, that would cost you 2 lakhs, which is very, when you are running such big resorts or anything, when we compare their costs, like operating cost and the product cost, for them it will be very cheap. So that concept is also there, customizable concept.
Congrats team. So good work. Over to you.
Yes.
I have only one question. Congrats for your contribution. Really happy to see such young kids contributing for vehicles. So you talked about Mercedes-Benz, right? So Mercedes-Benz implements autonomous driving nowadays.
Yeah.
In Europe and in US, basically, if you see, they are working on autonomous driving. Okay, so like if you are focusing only on the cost or like maybe in terms of battery, definitely in few days it might be taken over by other
Yes,
companies,
yes, yes.
right?
So that,
So in with that perspective, if you develop any particular innovation idea which have to be patented by your team and which should not be copied by any other competitor. So that would be a better innovation, I would suggest.
yeah.
Like as you talked about Tesla and Mercedes, so they are definitely on autonomous, right?
Right.
Autonomous
I mean,
driving.
sir, when we compare it to Tesla
Uh,
and Mercedes, Tesla is, they're in a different league of automation,
Mm.
and Mercedes is getting into the automation.
mm,
I mean, even Mercedes, BMW, even Audi can self-park since 2018.
mm,
And sir said the headlight design also, right? Audi invented this in 18, but it didn't click because of the design and stuff. But they had, the light wouldn't go on the other light. I mean, your light wouldn't decrease, but for them it wouldn't. Such kind of innovation they are bringing. But in Mercedes and even the BMW, if you check, if you have experience. It's more about luxury. It's more about how you feel about the brand. There, once you sit in a Mercedes, you'll never feel like you have to get into any other car. So that concept is there, and that is the reason they are still behind the luxurious and richer segment of the population. But what happens with us is, as you mentioned, automation is our main thing, sir. But for us to even build the regular vehicle, that is also a huge task for four of us. Electrical wiring and the concept of chassis. That itself is a very
Yeah, that is a very good thing. I'm not saying that.
no. I'm just telling
Just,
that we are
like if you develop an idea which can be patented, that would be much.
that yes. We'll work on that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, team. I would